just to the west, we've got some thunderstorms that have been going on this morning that will continue through the afternoon and really through Wednesday. This does include portions of eastern South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin. You're looking at two shots. Minneapolis and St. Paul, the Twin Cities, are actually under the threat for tornadoes. This is a level 2 for you threat. And that threat does also include the chance for some strong winds and some hail. We basically have a few waves of energy that come in off the Pacific Northwest, big area of high pressure down to the south that's redirecting these storms over that area of high pressure. And look at this, Britta, we've got a lot of it moving over the Dakotas. Just a moment ago, we had a severe thunderstorm warning that just expired, but it's from this lone cell right here that went over Interstate 29. Those discrete cells you want to watch closely ahead of the energy, because here's where all of the energy is, and you can make out a little bit of a spin there. These are going to produce some pretty dangerous conditions throughout the day today, this afternoon, and again this evening. So you might get some rain this morning, but you get another round later today. And look at this level 3 out of 5 for portions of North Dakota and into Minnesota. There is a ton of energy here later today.
Yes, and you know, this is kind of the weather pattern for the whole week, to be honest. The afternoon, we flare up, and those thunderstorms, we have to track through the overnight, and we wake up to that mess. So the thunderstorms that we're watching right now are yesterday's mess.
Yeah.
So we have to resolve that situation over the next couple hours. We'll maybe get a couple hours off late morning, and then we're right back to it by lunchtime. The dew points are super high. I mean, to have
70s.
Minneapolis have a 70-degree dew point, that means it feels more like Jackson, Mississippi and Minneapolis. I mean, that's a lot of humidity for this far north.
For this time of year, right? I mean, it's a little early for this time. I mean,
yeah, I mean, end of July is where I would ping probably our upper Midwest cities to have the highest potential of severe weather.
look at that amount of energy over portions of Kansas and Nebraska. That's
It's a lot.
major concern, right?
We have strong upper level winds. That's sort of pushing all of this along. And so we have a very high potential for large hailstones. And right over Sioux Falls, this is where we could see hailstones bigger than 2 inches in diameter. And that potential extends all the way out towards the Twin Cities. So to have 2-inch hailstones in like Minneapolis and St. Cloud, those are some very northerly areas to get very large hailstones. In Nebraska, you're like, okay, I expect that.
Right.
You might be thrown off by that in Minneapolis.
For sure.
There's a look at the play out. Again, as I mentioned, it is a scenario where every day we kind of reset. So let's talk about what happens tomorrow. Well, tomorrow we wake up to today's mess,
right?
Whatever is left over, and then we brace for another reload. So tomorrow's reload is very concerning for central Kansas. We do have a level 3 out of 5 alert tomorrow for the Central Plains, and that's where we're going to have the highest potential for tornadoes and large hailstones. As we work our way into Wednesday, all of this will be lifting into the Midwest. So you think about Chicago and Detroit. So it's going to be busy, folks. I mean, we got today's problems, then we have Tuesday and Wednesday on the docket, all with very similar potentials for every mode of severe weather. Let's highlight the tornado risk for tomorrow. So as I said, central Kansas will be the reload spot for Tuesday. We have a level 2 out of 5 alert for twisting and turning, where we could see tornadoes across I-70.
Yeah, that's a look at what we've got there, level 2, but look at the level 1 extends well up to portions of Iowa. Again, all of that energy moving off to the east. We got a level 3 at this point out of 5 for a good chunk of central Kansas. Now, most of the state of Kansas looking for the severe storm threat. It goes all the way down to Oklahoma. Those large hailstones also could be in the mix, 2 inches in diameter or greater, could also do a lot of damage.
Yeah, we have a level 3 risk tomorrow.
That's crazy. When you go in a little bit tighter, look at that. And you're talking about some major interstates, major cities here from Wichita.
And spots that are used to big hailstones. I mean, Kansas knows what it's like to get rocked by every mode of severe weather. You just got to be on top that Tuesday's your day.
Yeah, no kidding. Here's your timing. Timestamp upper left-hand side of your screen. That's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Nebraska getting pumped in, starts to shift off to the east. You get a new reignition coming off of the higher elevations and over the eastern portions of Montana. Look what Britta just highlighted. Blossoms during the afternoon and evening.
And it just blows up at dinner.
Yeah, and then continues its journey slowly to the east, which with that rate, likely to see some flash flooding. It's not a fast-moving system, and it's a lot of rain coming down.
So as we look at Wednesday's map, the westerly fringe of this can truly be an early morning threat on Wednesday, because keep in mind, we'll wake up to Tuesday evening's mess, but that won't be the end of it. The reignition will be Chicago, Indy, Cleveland. All these spots that are farther off to the east will be more representative of afternoon and evening development on Wednesday. Tons of humidity, that goes without saying. So when you're not dealing with the storms, it's hot, it's sticky, then you have all this potential. And not only is it severe weather, folks, these thunderstorms produce a tremendous amount of rain. We could easily see 2 to 3 inches across Iowa and Wisconsin. So there's your flood potential. These are all spots that have had flooding over the last several weeks. So a level 2 threat on Tuesday for Iowa and Missouri and Kansas is notable. That's going to be areas that really struggle with the heavy rain.